Yo, what's going on, man? Today is July the 10th. Welcome into the ChrisBeCappinn WNBA show for today. I got Ski with me early on the East Coast, early in the morning.
Not lying
What's
about
going on,
that
Ski?
early.
What's going on, Ski? How you doing this morning, my brother?
I'm all right. I was able to wake up and make it here semi on time. So good to be on here and try to talk out some winners.
Yeah, we got a big slate today, man. And for people who don't know, I talked about it yesterday, but for people who don't know, the camp games start today. It's three camp games, I think it is, maybe even four. And then three camp games today. One of them starts at 11. So me and Ski gonna jump right into it, man. I actually like the first one that's on the board. Before we do so, I never do this, but you guys hit the like button on the way in if you enjoy the show. And let's jump into it. Yesterday, I gave one play, which was the Sparks team total to go under. Not even really that sweaty. It was the way I kind of thought it would. Game went kind of the way I thought it would go without Nafisha Collier there. So that was a good winner. I know Ski had a winner yesterday as well. He was on the full game under, which also got to the window and was a winner. So we trend in the right direction starting, after the little hiatus that I took in the W, and hopefully we can keep that going here today. So I'll try to get through a couple of the comments, but not while me and Ski are doing not while I'm talking, maybe while Ski's talking, and we'll go through the games in that way. So first game up, Ski. Oh, and real quick, I do want to mention, if you missed the show, me and Ski did do a NBA free agency show, and I didn't know we were gonna go that long and in depth. It really wasn't that in depth. We just hit every team like 2 or 3 minutes. I went through added chapters. So if you guys want the, just kind of an updated, free agency show, kind of looking at some of the off-season acquisitions, definitely go back and check this out. It is over on YouTube. I had Ski on with me earlier this week on Monday, actually, because we didn't have any games. So, all right, now that's out the way, let's get into the game, Ski. We got first one up. We got the Liberty and the Sun. It looks like the line is still moving right now. Total also trickling up just a tad bit. Opened at 156 and a half. I see it up to 158 on some books. Injury report, we got Sabali. She is listed as questionable, which she has been. It feels like, recently. She is trending towards coming back. And then for Connecticut, Mariah Jefferson, only person I saw in the injury report. She has missed the last few games with an ankle injury. So New York, Ski, let's see. New York, they are 3-1 this season, coming off a loss. Of course, they just lost to the Indiana Fever. And you got Connecticut. They've been really, really strong as well. 9-2 straight up at the crib. Some of those losses, some of those wins, we can kind of go in and kind of nitpick at them, but they are a profitable team. Both of these teams tied for the best record in the WNBA at 17-4. What are you thinking about this game, Ski? It's an early start time game as well. What do you think about Liberty and Sun?
Well, I was typing in some query stuff just because I had a random thought when as we were talking about it. But my initial thought is we've seen these teams play a couple times already, and Liberty have handled them both times. The Sun in general, to me, they're just a team that beats up on the poor, and when they play competition, they tend to struggle. So I do think the Liberty are better than them. You also have the Liberty off a disappointing loss to the Fever. I think that will get their attention. So I think you get a pretty good effort from New York today. I know the Sun are a pretty good home team, but if I'm not mistaken, they play that in Connecticut each time, and Liberty have won. So I see no reason to go against the Liberty. The query I was looking at, just pretty much, both of these teams are rested. They both got 2 or more days, and both elite teams, like above 70% win percentage. I know, let me go back here. It says 31-19 to the over, 62%. And you see the total going up. I mean, both of these teams have had time to rest and prepare for each other. Maybe we get a little bit more offense than we would think for a Connecticut game. So Liberty lean over. How do you feel about it?
Yeah, I agree, Ski. I think, when I was looking into this, I took a deep dive into this game, and I'm right there on the Liberty. I played the Liberty as well. Couple of things that you mentioned, Ski. You talked about Connecticut. Well, I kind of mentioned, you talked about them beating up on the poor. Connecticut, 11 home games. They only 2 have actually come against winning teams so far with a winning record. They beat the They played against the Liberty and lost, and they played against Minnesota. Minnesota actually took them to overtime and only ended up losing that game by 1. You mentioned something else. For whatever reason, it feels like the Liberty just owned the Sun. They've beaten them 5 straight times, dating back to last year in the playoffs, and they won 9 of the last 10 matchups as well, including the one game earlier this season. Since the 2020 season, I looked at favorites coming off a loss as double digit. Well, teams that were double digit favorite coming off a loss, and they're 15-6 straight up. It does say that the Liberty bounced back. In my opinion, Skis, Jacquel Jones is the key piece here. When she plays well, the Liberty are elite. They're 2-4 in there this season when she's held under double digits, including the Commissioner's Cup game. And she came over from the Sun, and she seems to kind of take that matchup personal when she does play them. Earlier this season, she had a 22.8 rebound, 5 assists, 4 block game against the Connecticut Sun. So I think she'll get up for this matchup. I think she'll play well, and I think that'll lead to the Liberty being successful. So yeah, early money came in on this. It did open at 1.5, pushed it to 2. I see 2.5s out there as well. Looks like the consensus is 2.5 right now. As you mentioned about the total, Ski, 4-0-1 to the over in the last 5 head-to-head meetings. The first meeting of the season, we saw a push. And then I think we saw a 157 with a closing total of 154. I think one of those was a preseason game. And the other thing I looked at, Ski, was New York. They're also one of the best clutch teams. They're 7-2 straight up this year. Games where, of course, the score is within 5 points with less than 5 minutes left. And they're holding their opponents to under 7 points in the last 5 minutes in those clutch times, which actually ranks 3rd in the WNBA. So yeah, I took the Liberty. I played them on the money line. I got them at -130 and sent that out last night. So sounds like we're aligned there, Ski. Definitely sounds like we're aligned there. I also got a graphic right here for Jacquel Jones double-double. She has done really, really well. I think 5 of the last 6 times she's played against Connecticut Sun, she's had a double-double. And the games that she didn't were like blowouts. They were like 25-point blowouts. So she didn't need to play her full allotment of minutes, but just feels like a nice bounce back spot for Jacquel Jones. If we expect the Liberty to play defense, then of course Connecticut Sun offense can be, like little lackadaisical at times and struggle to score the basketball. We expect Jacquel Jones not to get pulled out too far away from the rim, because Bree Jones is a back to the basket type 5 player, even though she has been able to knock down shots recently. So sounds like me and Ski are in agreement here. Ski, anything else you want to add on this one?
All I'll say is it makes me nervous a little bit, just because New York, man, they really just, in my opinion, they maybe have one, but just not enough dogs on that team to me. I feel like they get, I don't know, they can be punked or however you want to call it. It's just not enough dogs, and I don't like it. So that's the only thing that holds me a little bit. But the query that I said earlier, actually moved it up to 75% win teams, and it was even better, a little bit above 70%. So we just expect points here in this game.
Yeah, I agree with that as well, Ski. And I agree with the part about not having dogs too. I think, they rely, not to get too deep into this game, but I mean, actually it's one of my favorite games on the board. But I think when you speak about them not having dogs, Ski, I was listening to Sandy Bandello talk post game last game, and she said, they shot like 70% inside the paint last game, but they continuously settled for 3-point shots. And I think they might have shot more threes it was like top 3 threes that they shot all season. And they continue to just miss them. So they miss them and just keep shooting them. So you are going to need them to, play with a little grit, man, and to kick early and punch early in this game. So yeah, sounds like me and Ski are in agreement.
One more thing, bro.
Yeah, what you got?
Can we just go Liberty team total over and just cut the Sun out? I mean,
I think we can. If we expect the Liberty to win, we can expect them to be able to score points. Connecticut Sun's defense, taken into part here, probably has the Liberty team total a little bit lower. What we see it as? I see 79.5. Yeah, Liberty number
last 4 times they played.
Liberty team total over 79.5. Looks like DraftKings has the best number at -120. There's some 80.5s out there if you don't want the juice on FanDuel as well. I like that, Ski. I'm gonna write that down. Maybe I'll add that. Live team total over.
The thing that popped in my mind, I talked to I'm not gonna name drop, but I talked to one of my friends and we talk about these games, and you probably will know, but when I say this, but she's like, man, I don't know about the Sun. She's like, that offense is like watching prison ball.
It is. It is. If DeWanna is not hitting shots, and shout out to Deja Day, she's helped a lot, but man, it feels like they've lost a lot too. So I'm right there with you, Ski. Right there with you. I actually wrote that down. I might add that. Definitely adding it to the short list, but I might end up playing that. Just take. I already gave out Liberty on the money line, but I think if they win, it's definitely going to be because they score more than 80 points. So definitely agree there. Mark says he's on the Liberty money line. T. Mitchell's reminding everybody hit the like button. Says we got a full slate today. All right, let's keep it pushing, Ski. Next game up, we got the Atlanta Dream. They will be in Chicago. They're getting 6 points. This line, yeah, still 6. Total hasn't really moved, 157. Atlanta continues to be super injured here, Ski. They will be without Jordan Canada, without Ryan Howard, without Aerial Powers. They all remain out. On the Chicago side, same injury report, just Elizabeth Williams, who I think is done for the rest of the season. So 2 days rest here for Atlanta, Ski. They are on the last of a 3-game road trip. They've played 4 of their last 5 games on the road, and they've lost 4 in a row, but they have covered 4 of their last 5. Chicago, 2 days rest. First game back home after a 3-game road trip. They've actually won and covered 2 of their last 3, and 2 really impressive games against Seattle. They were within 3 against Seattle before, letting Seattle go on I think it was like a 12-2 run, and they ended up not even covering that game. I know Chicago is the better team here, Ski, as currently constructed roster-wise. But Chicago is also only 3-7 straight up and against the spread at home, and they've only covered 1 of their last 7 games at home, Ski. Can you lay 6 points with them in this spot? If not, how would you choose to play this one?
I'm thinking about it. I'm considering it. And you look at the Sky, what they've won. My bad. Let me go here. They've won 8 games.
Yeah.
So far this season, they've covered 7 of them. So let me just look at the ones they've won as a favorite, actually laying points. They won 5. They've covered 4 of them. So when they win, it looks like it's usually by margin. This Atlanta team, it just boils down to, I already have a hard time trusting them without Ryan Howard. Then you throw in, they were still able to be okay as long as they had Jordan Canada running the show. She was bringing a big boost for this team on both sides. And now with her out, Howard out, they don't even have Aerial Powers to come in and try to give them a little boost. It's just going to be Alicia Gray out there. I see Atlanta struggling to score. So either Dream Team total under or Chicago minus is the way I play this game.
Yeah, I can't disagree with you, Ski. I think since Ryan Howard has missed, I think 5 or 6 games, and I can't remember if it's 5 or 6, but they won 1 of them. So they either 1-4 or 1-5. Like I said, they have been competitive. Chicago coming off the road trip with an L against Seattle. Like I said, they play really well. So I think Coach Teresa Weatherspoon will have her locked, have the team locked in for sure. You mentioned team total. It looks like Atlanta is 76.5. That's a super low number, but we did just see, last thing I wanted to mention, Ski, we did just see Chicago go into Atlanta and beat this Atlanta team 85-77. That game was 6 days ago. It was actually last Tuesday. Well, yes, 7 days ago. It was actually last Tuesday. So they won that game 85-87 on the road as a 1-point favorite last Tuesday. And
Canada played though, right?
Canada did play. Yeah, she did play. That was the game that she did play in, because I remember being on Atlanta thinking that they would get the job done. So it makes sense that the line has moved. I don't know, 5 points is a lot, but I would be right there with Ski. I can't play Atlanta. I know that. So like you said, probably team total under would be the way that I would look if I'm playing this game. And I put Angel Reese over here. Of course, I'm not playing her double-double, but I know people playing that -270, -250, just because she continues to cash. I think it's what. Shout out to her for getting 13 in a row. Breaking that record. I think that was held by Candace Parker. So I just added, nice little parlay piece. I definitely think she gets it today. Atlanta doesn't have a lot of rebounders outside of Tina Charles, even though I think they do get Cheyenne Parker Tyus back for this game. So any final thoughts here, Ski?
Nah, I think we did all right on that one.
Yeah, I agree. All right, let's keep pushing. Next game up, we got the Mystics and the Fever. Game will be played in Indiana. Real quick, make sure my line is still the same, and it is. So it looks like the Fever are laying 6, opened at 5.5. Total on the way up, open 167.5, up to 168, 168.5. I see a 169.5 as well. And that's kind of how I wanted to play it. No spoiler here, T, but I wanted to go up and over with this one. So we get an Indiana team that is coming off. They are pretty rested. It's the second game back home after that. I think it was a 4-game road trip, and they got that big win against the New York Liberty just the other day. They are going to be without Timmy Bagley. She is out for this game. I think it's her second straight game she's missed. The Washington Mystics continue to be the walking wounded. No Shakira Austin, no Brittany Sykes. Carly Samuelson with that fractured hand has been back on the court. I saw her doing some court work in the last game, but she won't be available for this game. And for the Mystics, not the greatest spot here. It's the last game of a 4-game road trip for them. They are rested, and they've lost back-to-back games, but they also just continue to cover. Ski, you see the graphic there at 5-17 straight up, but 15-7 against the number. And they've covered 6 of their last 7 games. So if you're playing this one, Ski, how would you choose to look at this one?
Yeah, you couldn't pay me to lay 6 points with the Fever, man. I don't care who they play, bro. For real. I just have to go with Washington first half. If it ain't broke, don't fix it kind of a deal. Fever have been a slow starting first half team. I think it's more on the road, though, but it's just no way I'm laying this kind of points with a Fever team I don't trust to play defense. That's what it boils down to me. So as far as you're over, I can understand Washington is probably going to shoot a lot of threes. Fever not going to play a whole lot of defense. Lean over, lean Mystics, I guess. Mystics early.
Yeah, Mystics plus the 3 would make a lot of sense. It could be definitely a big letdown spot. And to your point, Ski, I looked at home favorites laying 5.5 or more, who previously are coming off a win as a dog, and they are just 15-24-1 against the number. So they're covering only about 38% of the time. And it says that it could be a nice little flat spot. The other part of that, though, Ski, and this is the reason why I wanted to talk this one out with you. I'm probably not going to play the game, but I looked at this last of a 4-game road trip. Like, I wanted to see, what that looked like. So road dogs on the last game of a 4-game road trip historically cover less than 45% of the time. And if you look at just the last few years, so I looked at it this year and last year, they're 2-11-1 against the number over the last 2 years. This was a spot that I actually took. I took the Fever in when they won the last of a 4-game road trip the other day again when they were playing against the Aces, and they looked super flat, in that last game. So I'll probably stay off this one, but if I am playing, I think I would look towards an over. Would a first half over make sense, Ski, or should we just kind of keep it moving and stay away from this one? You muted, Ski. And the only reason I asked is because we know that the Mystics historically one of the worst fourth quarter teams, and they just kind of run out of gas late. Well, would you play first half over or just stay away from this one, Ski?
I don't. The only thing I can say is Mystics first half on the road hasn't seemed like an over spot. I think they've been, mostly under. So maybe full game will be a little bit better. That's the only thing I have to, contribute for that. I don't really have a strong opinion about the total.
Okay. Yeah. I don't know. I think the letdown comes from the Fever's defense in this one. I got Caitlin Clark double over here just because she's coming off the triple-double game. She's played Washington, and she had a really good game against them. I remember being on the Fever in that game. I think they were like laying 1 when they were in DC, and they won that game outright. Ended up, of course, covering the number. And she just continues to rebound the ball well, gets assists. I think her rebounds and assist numbers up to like 14.5 now, which is a little too rich for my blood. But I mean, she continues to cash it. If you think, Washington is going to struggle defensively, which last 5 games, you guys can see the graphic, they are the second worst defense. I don't think taking a look at Caitlin Clark double-double is a bad play here either. Any closing thoughts on this one, Ski? Want to keep it moving?
Yeah, I can understand if you want to play Caitlin Clark double-double. Fever in general have been playing a little bit better. Seems like she's maybe figuring stuff out a little bit more lately, so not mad at that play.
Yeah, seems like it makes a lot of sense. So going back to that last game, Holmes says he likes Sky -3 in the first half. Think they start early. Justin also likes the Sky first half. They have been a really good team.
Atlanta's been poor in the first half. That's what it really is.
Terrible. Yeah.
Let me go back to that. I was
going to say, this might be a Moneyballer special right here, Ski.
Oh, wait, no. The Dream first half at home has been terrible. On the road, they've been okay. Yeah, 5-4-1 on the road, 1-9 at home.
Okay, so maybe this is the more of a play on the Storm. This Sky starting off the game a little bit better. I know that they're coming off back-to-back covers. They covered against the Sparks against the Storm in both road games. I can't remember who they played before that, but yeah, probably more of a buy on.
Sky though, they have been kind of the team to fall apart in the second half, right? So
Yeah,
I mean, I guess that makes sense if you want to play the first half.
yeah, I think I'm gonna write this one down too. Chicago first half. See if I can find a 3. Not sure if I'll get there, but yeah, I'll add that to the short list as well. Okay. Dropping down to the Sky first half, -2.5 on ESPN bet. Mark likes the Sky as well. Says leaning Sky, but probably gonna pass, and that's how I kind of feel about it as well. All right, let's keep pushing. Ski. Next game up, we got the Aces and the Storm. Probably the best game that we have on the board for today. I see the line moving, coming down to 4 on some books. I see a 5 out there still as well. So it really just depends on what you want. Total hasn't really moved a lot at all. 173.5 is what it opened at, I think. 174, I think, is what it opened at. Came down half a point, and it hasn't really moved at all. These lines have been out for like 2 or 3 days as well. So Meg Gustafson got ruled out for the Aces, and then Seattle has a clean injury report. This is the first of a 3-game road trip for the Las Vegas Aces here, Ski. And Seattle is in one of the greatest spots that you probably could ever be in. 7th of a 9-game homestand. Of course, the first time the Storm, well, no, not of course, but this is the first time that the Storm have been dogs at home all season. They've been laying points in every single game so far. So that sets up for an interesting trend. This is the 3rd meeting of the season between the two teams. Seattle did take game 1. They beat them 78-65. Of course, that was before Chelsea Gray came back. The second game, Aces got their revenge. I think you were on them in that spot, Ski. Aces got their revenge. They won 94-83 in Vegas, and they covered the 6.5. Seattle was at the end of a 3-game road trip in that game as well. And I don't know. I'm interested in your thoughts on this one, Ski, because Aces land a short number, or do we take the points and we think the Storm have a chance to win this game outright? Can you talk to me? What do you think about this one? And what are your thoughts on the total as well? I'm interested in your thoughts on the total.
Well, I agree that it's a pretty solid spot for Seattle. They've been getting a lot of rest. Also, in addition to just being at home. And the Aces, they did have 2 days off before this game, but before that, it was just 3rd game in 4 nights. One of those games was an overtime game. I just feel like the spot absolutely favors Seattle, and they've been playing good basketball. They've shown they can compete with this team. I'm pretty sure they already beat them once. So being here at the house, I can only look towards Seattle plus. I mean, the short number with the Aces, I understand. I'm kind of even starting to feel like, you don't even need any points. If you like Seattle, you just take a money line, and if the Aces are going to win, it's going to be by margin. That's kind of how I feel, and I'm looking a little bit more towards the Seattle side. As far as the total, Aces, they've been, what do I say? They've been inconsistent defensively. There was a time where, Asia was crying in the interview. Becky was talking about the defense. They kind of showed up for a couple games, and then they reverted back to, not playing the best defense again. So with that, it makes me think that the Storm team total could be worth a look at 84.5. I don't want to go against the Storm's defense. That's something that I really don't want to do. So Storm team total or Storm look like the way to go for me.
Hold on real quick, Ski. I want to address what you just said, but we gotta double check this real quick. But Benaji Laney Hamilton got ruled out?
Oh yeah, let me just double check. Hold on.
Oh, yep. She woke up. I'm looking at the tweet right now. She woke up. Yeah. Her knee was a little puffy from the bus trip, and we're on a back-to-back.
Bro. I'm cool, bro. That's one of the dogs they actually got.
God, ain't no more dogs left.
That kind of kills the defense a little bit, doesn't it? So
it definitely kills the defense. Definitely kills the defense.
So maybe it's a full game total now. Maybe that prison ball offense gone.
Yeah, I mean, Benaje definitely the dog that's out there. Damn, that really, really sucks for my Liberty game.
Chris, I'm gonna go ahead and cross that off the list right
there. Yeah, I would too. Yeah, team total. Yeah, I'm gonna cross that one off too. Damn. Okay. Shout out to Blake for dropping this in the chat. Going back real quick, to what Ski was saying. Yeah, I wrote this down yesterday as Seattle +5 too. I just think Ski made a lot of great points. I think that what I'll mention is it's difficult. It's a difficult start time for both of these teams. This game actually starts at 12 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, which is 9 a.m. your time, Ski, and that's where this game gonna be played on the West Coast. That doesn't serve either team well, but you would have to think it would serve the home team a little bit better, especially being that it's a 7th straight home game, and you got some revenge. You probably got some revenge on your mind. I also think it's a step up spot for Seattle for the Aces as well in class, because I was looking back through the Aces' last 5 games, and they've come against the Wings, the Sparks, the Fever, and the Mystics twice. So this is a big step up in competition. I know that I figured that the Storm the Aces will be fired up, but I think the Storm will be fired up as well. The other thing I wanted to mention real quick, Ski, before we move on to the next one, because I haven't played the game yet, but to your point that you made about if you like the Storm, take them on the money line. I mean, you can see it right here. When they lose against the number, they lose the game. Like, it's no in between. They're 14-7 straight up, 14-7 against the number. So if they're going to cover, they're going to win. So if I take them, Ski, it'll be on the money line with you as well. I'll break it up, but I'll definitely be looking towards this Storm. If I wanted the Storm, I'd be looking towards that 9-2 straight up at the crib. The last thing I wanted to mention, Ski, before we get into the next one, we don't see the Aces as short favorites often. So I looked into that. Since the start of last season, Vegas is only 1-3 straight up and against the number when they're a short favorite of 5 points or less.
Yeah, stands up. They're usually big
one.
lines.
Absolutely. The only one that they covered was actually this season against the Lynx, meaning that they lost straight up and against the number all 3 times last season. It was twice against the Liberty, and it was once against the Sun. So, I mean, it goes to your point of, if you want the Storm, probably just, you probably can get a nice plus money, not a nice plus money price, but you can get some plus money to take the Sun in this spot. And I like it. I also saw, Ski, I don't know how much you look into this, but I also saw that Asia Wilson, I saw the picture yesterday. I know it didn't happen yesterday, but I saw Asia Wilson, having a nice dinner with Bam Adebayo. And, I don't know if that probably happened, 2 days ago because of the early start time. I'm pretty sure they were already in Seattle. But, her legs might be a little tired. And if they are, then I definitely think with her being the MVP and player of the month, if Bam, helps us out, then it'll be a shout out to Bam. But I wanted to throw that in because when I saw the picture, I was like, we got to talk about it. That's part of the handicap.
Yeah, part of the handicap. It's another reason it could be a bad spot for the Aces.
It could be a terrible spot for the Aces, man. Asia go out there, we can give credit to Ezzy Magma.
That jump shot gonna be a little bit short.
Yeah. Absolutely. Justin says Aces under 89.5 is in his pocket. Storm don't give up 90. Only once. Aces and Lynx was in overtime. Dropping down, same thing. Like the Aces team total under as well. And yeah, to the point, about this game being an under. So the totals have been 1-1 so far in the head-to-head matchups. But you would think that the Storm would come to play defense in this spot. Both of these teams do play fast, though, which kind of scared me a little bit. But if I'm playing the total, I think it is especially with the start time, I'm thinking that it's an under type game. Maybe even the first half under just because of the early start time. I'm gonna write that down.
I'm liking under. I'm definitely going Aces team total under. I'm not really banking on Aces defense.
The Aces defense, yeah, I think so as well.
They've been scoring lately though, huh? 98, 90, 104, 93, but Dallas,
it's been bad defense.
Washington.
Yeah, really bad defenses. Mark says Storm tough defense and at home. Yeah, right there with you guys on this one. Right there with you. Okay, I think me and Ski did a pretty good job. It sounds like we're both looking towards Aces team total under. If we're taking the Storm, we'd like them on the money line. All right, so last game on the board. This last one, right? Yeah, last game on the board. We got Dallas and Phoenix. Wings are getting 7.5 as road dogs. I saw this line come down to 7. I see a 6.5 out there, but it actually opened at 8.5. And the big news here, of course, is Rebecca Allen. She is listed as probable, but Diana Taurasi is going to miss her second game. Back-to-back games, she's going to miss her ski. I think it's a foot injury that she's dealing with. BG and her partner are expecting their child here soon. But she's not on the injury report for this game. She's missed. Well, she was on the injury report for the last 2 games listed as probable. They are at the crib. So this is a game I kind of feel like I definitely want BG in if I want to play the game. I think she influences it both on the offensive and defensive end. And just because she's not added on the injury report does not mean that she could potentially not miss this game. I have no idea, when the baby is due, but I think that's a part of the handicap, and it's one of the reasons why I don't really like playing this game, without knowing that. Looking a little bit deeper, you get the Wings, 2 days rest, last of a 2-game road trip. They are 0-5 ATS in their last 5. The worst team in the WNBA. They're not even the worst team just straight up, but they also failed to cover too. 6-15-1, 2-11 against the number. Is it a reek? Nah, we ain't gonna go there. Then you got the Mercury on the other side. 2 days rest, first game back home after a 2-game road trip. They got back-to-back wins and covers. Ski. I think they beat the Sparks in that last game. If you're playing the Wings game, Ski, it kind of feel like you just automatically look at the opposing team total to go over. I mean, they can't guard anybody. They gave up 100 to the Aces in the last game. I think 7 of their last 8, 9, 10 opponents have scored 90 plus points. And you got a Mercury team total listed at 90.5. The Mercury only play one way, and it's fast, up and down the floor. But without Diana Taurasi being there, Ski, does it scare you a little bit over, off of maybe a Mercury team total over? Or how would you look to play this one?
Yeah, it makes me nervous a little bit, less threes. And even if I just like a full game over, she's not the best defender. Surprisingly, although I kind of view the Mercury as a team that wants to play a little bit more fast, lately they haven't been. Last 5 games, they're second slowest playing team. Mm-hmm. But both defenses have also been really bad. Like you said about the Wings, they've been giving up like 90 every other night or every night, it seemed like. So don't trust either team defensively. I would absolutely want Griner in. I hate to see Diana Taurasi out for like the over. So at this point, Griner could be rolled out any day, any minute. I'm not in a rush to bet these Mercury games until closer to tip. So I'll just lean over for now.
Okay. Sounds like Justin likes that over. He said he put the 173.5 in his pocket. Mark's like that team total over 90.5. Richard says he got BG over his points. Okay. Yeah. This is a game. I'm not really interested in this game. The one way I was looking at playing this Ski was if you go through and look at the advanced numbers traditional numbers too for the Wings, they really struggle out the gate. Like teams don't, hesitate to start scoring against them early in the game. You go through and look at it, they give up the most points in the first quarter. So I was thinking maybe Mercury team total over, that number being 23.5 is a tad bit scary. Like I said, if I do want that, I want to make sure BG gets rolled in. This is the only game that this is a 3:30 start time game. So we got plenty of time. We come on and give out these looks early, but you don't have to play these games early. Like I said, Dallas is the second worst first quarter team behind Indiana. Mercury have been one of the better first quarter teams in the W, especially since Brittany Griner and BG returned. So that's the way I was thinking of getting out early with the Mercury. But I mean, they could score for the full game too because the Wings aren't really stopping anybody. Any last thoughts on this game before we get into a quick recap?
Nah, I think we did all right. It's over a bust.
Over a bust. Okay. All right. So this is what I was looking at here, and should be. Let me change this real quick, and we'll get Ski's looks for the game, whatever you want to share as well, because I want to change this. So if you guys are new to the show, these plays that are in green are confirmed plays that I did make. Like I said, I already played New York on the money line. And then the red plays are ones on the short list that I also like, and I need to add to this list since me and Ski were talking as well. But Ski, if you're making plays today, maybe it's a top play, maybe it's 2 plays, whatever it is that you're liking. What would it be for today?
Well, I made one bet since we've been on the show, and that is going to be Liberty Sun over 158.5 is the best number that I see right now. It is continuing to move. I mean, I see it as high as 160. So just talking to Benijah Laney minus her, that's a lot of defense missing for the New York side. And these teams have had a lot of rest, like we mentioned. The query that I brought up, it's a rested team, 2 rested elite teams. They're 27, 11, and 1 to the over 71.1%. So I'll go over 158.5. It does make me a little nervous that it's the early morning game, but I think we should at least see 160.
Yeah, I agree. I definitely agree with that, especially without Laney being there. Dang, that really sucks, man. Yeah, I think we did a pretty good job on the game, Ski. Like I said, that was my favorite play on the board for today was the Liberty. Maybe they can still get the job done. We'll see. The spread really hasn't moved a lot, but I do know that Benaja Laney is a dog. Maybe that inspires the other ladies to play even harder because they'll be missing Benaja. But we'll see how it goes. I'm not gonna cash out. I'm gonna let it ride. I talked about all the reasons why I like Jacquel Jones to go over to get a double in this game. Nice bounce back spot for her. Also, like we talked about Seattle, this is not 5 anymore. Although you might be able to get a 5. We'll just call it official 4.5. And then the Aces team total is also something that really stands out to me, Ski. I think under. Well, let's see what the best number that we can get for that team total is real quick. Because it hasn't really moved a lot, I don't think. I think you can still get the 89.5. 88.5 minus 113 on FanDuel right now. It looks like is the number. And this is still not an official play. Not quite yet because I don't have $1 on it. But this is how I'm kind of looking at the game.
The total is dropping as we speak in that game right now. It's down.
Is it dropping?
71.5.
Ooh, okay. Well, that's why. That's why I can't get an 89.5 anymore because I know some people already said they had a 89.5 in their pocket. And it makes a lot of sense to me. It's hard to fade the Aces offense because that's what they do best. Is score the basketball. Which is why I probably break it up because I think Seattle will be able to score as well. You just need Jewel Lloyd to have a really good game. In the game that they lost in Vegas, I want to say she had 3 points or 1 point or something like that. In the game that they won, she had like 24, 25 and was getting interviewed after the game. So you just need Jewel Lloyd in that game to be consistent as you need Jacquel Jones in the other game as well. So yeah, I think we did a pretty good job, Ski, of breaking the games down. Resources are here. Me and Ski talked about moneyballer.com while we were, doing the show. Always encourage you guys to go over there and sign up for a free account while it is still free. You can it's like a one-stop shop for all your sports betting, needs over there. NBA, WNBA, MLB, pretty sure NFL is coming as well. And always shout out OzJam. You guys get 25% off your first month. I just use it to line shop, but there's a bunch of different ways that you guys can utilize all the resources that they have over there. So the code for that is in the description of the video. Use code CBC, but the link is in the description is what I should say. And the link for all my official plays is also in the description. I also added Ski's Twitter. If you guys are new and have no idea who Ski is, which would be weird to me. But if you are, Ski, you can follow him on X at Ski Profit. The link for that is in the description. And he also has a Wager Talk page as well. So you can check out Ski's profile over on Wager Talk as well if you guys are interested. And the link for that is also in the description of this video. If you guys are still watching, you found the show helpful, do me a favor, hit the thumbs up, share the show, subscribe to the channel if you guys are new. Any departing words, Ski, before we get up out of here?
Nah, just feel like we did a pretty good show. Appreciate you inviting me on. Shout out to the chat. Some good guys out there in the chat. Good luck to everybody, and I'll catch you guys later.
Absolutely. Ski said it best, man. Best of luck. Enjoy the games. Like I said, they start early. I'm going to drop my son off at camp, and then I'm going to watch all the camp games. So, yeah, y'all be good. Enjoy the game, man. And if you guys are watching, I am about to start another show with Dream and with Zay, and we're going to go through the prop markets as well before the game start. And then I'll be checking out Ski's show. Ski going to do a show with Rob Vino a little bit later as well. So, yeah, enjoy the games. Enjoy the day. We'll catch you guys in the next one.